All right. Welcome back. Welcome back into the building. We are here for part two of the back to back reactions. Um, I think for this video, I'm going to go into my archives and pull out some of the videos that I set aside to react to because I think that I don't know what's going on. I'll give you all a few moments to come in and I'll start looking at my list of let me take, you know what? Let me see. Try before you buy. Let's see. What is this? Because some of the links because this one young lady sent a lot of different things. Hey, Faye, how you doing? You missed part one. Ain't you a part of the text notification squad? What's going on? Let me see. So, young lady, the one who sent me a bunch of these TikToks in the Telegram, something is wrong with your links because I'm clicking on it and I'm not seeing try before you buy. Every time I click on it, a different video comes up, which lets me know that there's something wrong with the link because it's not leading to a video. Black men hate their moms. Let's see. When I click on Black Men Hate Their Moms, it takes me to a video about drawing pumpkins. Hey Sky, how you doing? So I don't think that this is, oh, the text went out quickly this time. So I think that your links are not taking us to the right place. So Miss Lady, yeah, this one is about, the last one you sent is about kids going to school and your friend is still packing and you're ready to walk out the door. This is not stuff for my show. So I don't think that your links are working, hun. Let me see. So now here's some from Nikki. Oh, Lord. This is the surrogate mother video. Let me click past that because we already covered that. And then update. Okay. Then Kim sent something. Let me see what Kim has. All right. So, let's go ahead. I feel a little off today. I feel a little off. I feel like I'm underwater. I just feel real slow, real groggy. I feel like I want to lay back down. Mm. All right. Let's go ahead and just get into it because I um I want to make it through. Okay. Let's see what we have here. This is IG. I should have a second IG. I do not have a second IG. Let me see. Mm, this ain't gonna work. Let me try this one. Nope. Let me go back to the IG. And let me just fix this up then. This is entitled, She Told Him She Moved On and Didn't Have Feelings and He Didn't Believe Her. Let's see what's happening in this video. Sounds sad to me. All right. If you all are ready, let's just get right into it. I'm not really in the mood for a big hoopla and all of that. Welcome in, everybody. I'm your host. What's this done at the bottom of my screen? It looks like somebody's face. Whose face is that? I don't know. All right, let's go for it. Let's go for it.
With you.
Why?
I have a boyfriend. And I have moved on, and it's best
It's
if you
not
do
like
the same
Mumechomele on
thing.
a welding. You can drop him.
Are you even listening to yourself?
Yes,
Do
you
you
still
not
love
get
me.
my sense?
You still love me, right?
I do not love you.
You do.
I don't.
Edna, if you're sure you don't love me, if you're sure there is not even a single drop of love left in your heart for me, slap me.
Seriously?
Don't
Are we seriously doing this, Fidel?
slap him.
So you want me to slap you because...
Yeah, prove to me that you don't love me.
Oh! Wait, that's how it ends? That's how it ends. Hold on. That's how it ends. It ends with a slap. Lord have mercy. What can I say to this? You know, we talked in the last segment about telling people things that's not true and asking them to do things you don't really want them to do, having open, honest communication. She's telling him she's moved on. He's saying slap him. These people sound like they're from either South Africa or Kenya. So, because you know those rolling R's. Listen, so now she's about to slap the man up. Lord have mercy, how he grabbed his face. Oh my goodness, this is so sad. But you know what? This happens with a lot of people, and I don't know where the disconnect is coming in. Either he wasn't listening to her in the relationship, or she wasn't communicating how she truly felt in the relationship. I don't know. He seems like he is convinced that she still loves him. So I don't know how deep the bond was between them. She looks like it pains her to even have to do this. This is sad. This is real sad. And here she go, look. This was sad. This was sad. Listen, don't play these types of games. You know what I'm saying? Don't play these types of games. If you don't want somebody to slap you, don't put it out there like that. I feel bad this happened to the young man like this. He's going to find, and he needs to find somebody else. You know, breaking up with a person who is in denial about the breakup. And she says she already has another boyfriend, so I don't even know how long they've been broken up. Maybe this was a show about getting back with an ex. I don't know. And this is sad. This is sad. You know, it's difficult. Breakups are difficult. However, honest communication is imperative in the relationship as the relationship is ending, once you've moved on, and just really just hearing. You know, especially if you love the person and the person loved you, you can hold space. Like if they're respecting your boundaries, you can hold space to hear them out. You know, be kind. However, you have to still respect your boundaries, and it's sad that this happened to him this way, but this is sad. Like, let's just see that slap one more time.
Fidel? So you want me to slap you because...
Yeah, prove to me that you don't love me.
Dang. That's sad. That's real sad. Man, that was sad. That was really sad. That was really sad. Let's see. That was sad. That was sad. Let me see what else we have. So Kim sent that one. Thank you, Kim. Hold on. Let's see what this one is. It says, is he wrong for this? Let's see. Is he wrong for this? We shall see now. Oh, it's a two-person screen. Let's see what we have here. Okay. Oh, we got to make it smaller for the two people. Okay, there we go. Let's see what we have. Let's see. Uh-oh, no sound. Let's refresh so we could get this back up on the screen. Let's get the sound.
For that, if you're around, that everybody gets the coverage of having a man around.
I hear where you're coming from on that, and I respect it, and I feel like you enjoy providing that benefit to the women around you, but I'm covering you. Like, I'm your man. I'm not their man. when we get together and like, I take out the trash, see what I can do. Like, make myself available within this communal setting. Like, hey, what can I do? Da, da, da. And because I'm a man, I can do some of those things. But the message I'm hearing from you is just like, yeah, when you are with me and other women are around, extend to them the same benefits of being a man to them as you would to you. And I'm like, no. Like, I'm a man, I'm gonna do my thing, but I'm like, I'm not going like above and beyond to do manly shit for them.
That's fair.
Because like they're there. I do shit for you. You my lady. You're my woman. I treat you as my woman. I'm not treating them as my woman. If they want the coverage of a man, they got to get them a man.
Oh, wow. This is an interesting dialogue. Let's hear the first part of it again.
I would prefer that if you're around, that everybody gets the cover.
Wow. You know what? This is deep. And I'll say this, right? I'll say this. In these times with firearms and unstable people and all of this other stuff on both sides, right? So here's the thing. I mean, I remember back in the days, back in college when I had my first boyfriend and I would go out with him and my girls, right? Yeah, he provided the protection and the coverage that made me feel good as a human being, as the woman that was with him, or as the young lady who was with him. That he, he took care of everything. He looked out for my friends. It was an extension. My girls, really, that gave me so much props in front of them. And then, I mean, I can see both sides of this because, number one, in these times, it's a lot more dangerous. So that's one. Even to this day, like, it's oh gosh, I'll just say this. Even to this day, like, the men that I date, the caliber of man that they are, they're not going to just stand there while something is happening with the other women in the crew. Now, there's one of two things that's going on, right? One, either the environment in which we are in is out of control, right? And if that's the case, then we need to all leave this environment that's out of control. Two, there's a male around or a group of males or a group of women who are out of control, and that's part of the environment, and we need to, kind of skedaddle out of that. So I guess that goes underneath one. And two, either the young lady is out of control. So what do you do if you are with a person in your crew, a girl who is out of control? Because we've already seen footage of women, even Brickface Girl, she's been accused of just being a menace when she's out instigating. And there are some women who do instigate because they want their men to fight and they want to see what he's made of and all this other stuff. So I'll say this, right? I think it has to go on a case by case basis. I mean, so listen, the last man that I dated was a retired soldier, and I couldn't imagine being out with him where we weren't all protected and covered by him. But he was a retired soldier. What type of men is it that what type of men is it that you're attracted to? What is the standard that you have for your relationship? How does he show up? Does he have the skills to be able to deal with that? As a matter of fact, I have a friend who you all saw in videos years ago, and he was walking a girl to her car, like after they all left the bar. And some man with a kitchen knife, trigger warning. I mean, I won't say much more than that because of the trigger warning. A man with a long knife eviscerated him. He survived. However, it is dangerous holding that space. It's dangerous holding that space. And if he wasn't there, that girl would have perished because this guy with the knife, I mean, these things, they happen. So I don't. I mean, you can't if you're if and the person that was in that situation, he has training. He was ex-military and all types of stuff, and but still, he was attacked, and it's a good thing that he was there for the girl. Otherwise, that girl would have perished. However, he's putting his life back together now as a result of that attack. Like, he's forever changed as a result of this. And I don't know if I should even say his name in this video, because you all saw him in my videos when I was displaced. I mean, the stories in the news, you can Google it, etc. But the point of what it is that I'm saying is that this is very touchy, and it has to be case by case. And it is unfortunate that, yeah, when a person steps up, that could be their life. And is that person willing to give his life for a person he doesn't know? A person who is military, ex-military, they're built different. This guy right here, his cheeks are chubby. He doesn't, I mean, I don't know what his skill or capability is, right? I don't know what his body looks like, how he trains. I don't know what special skills he has. I personally, if I was out with her and that man and something was going down, I know that it's every woman for herself. I would have to get out of the situation. Like, when things start to kind of bubble up, or I would have to get out of the situation for myself, because these men nowadays, this is not the fisticuffs days where people were putting their dukes up and boxing one another. These are the days where it could be your life. We have a lot of mentally unwell people walking around. There are more firearms in the United States than there are people. There are over 330 million people in the US, and there are more firearms than there are people. So in these here United States, where people are not fighting fairly, and this guy he looks like, okay, he'll put his life on the line for his woman. However, I wouldn't expect this to put his life on the line for me. I wouldn't. And I don't know. What are your thoughts on this? Because this is a touchy one, because is there any there's no perfect answer in this situation. She's expressing what it is that she would like. However, that is not the type of man that she got with. And no partner is going to be a perfect match. You have 80-20 is what they say to hope for. 80% of what it is that you want, 20% of what it is that you can work with, but no deal breakers. If you have a deal breaker, if that is her deal breaker, she doesn't need to be with him. However, if there are other things about him and the relationship that make that part of it what it is that he's saying, that she'll deal with that, she'll deal with that in exchange for being with that man, okay, I gotta respect it. But I wouldn't I wouldn't I wouldn't I personally I wouldn't feel safe around a man like him going out with her as my girl. I wouldn't feel safe. I know that that I'm on my own, and being in the presence of a man can either deter or attract trouble. So I don't know. I don't know. It depends on the man. I personally, I would just get out of this. I would get out of there as soon as, like, if I have the privilege of being able to be aware or cognizant of some ruckus brewing, I would get myself out of there, because I wouldn't be depending on him to do anything for me. I wouldn't, honestly. And I mean, you can see from her face she's embarrassed, but how much do you want that particular man? Are you willing to give that up in exchange for a person who is a trained combat veteran or whatnot? I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I don't know on this one. I don't know. I want to hear your thoughts. What are your thoughts for real? Because I don't know. Yeah, this one was a good one. This one was a sticky one too, because I honestly don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what happened to my screen in the back and why it's so squished down. That's weird. Oh, there we go. Oh, there. Uh-oh. We're going to get to the next video. I don't know what's going on, why that is squished like that, but it is what it is. So let's move on to the next video. Thank you for that, Kim. That was a good one. Let's see. So Kim gave 2. Then this one is from Christine. Thank you for this, Christine. Let's see what we have here. This is a video talking about men prefer younger women. And it looks like a woman with gray hair is talking. So we can never be too sure the caliber of the woman that is speaking until we start hearing the caliber of what it is that she's saying, because there's too many of us on some other program. But I mean, that is the way it is out there. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Let's see. Ugh, there's no sound. Let's refresh this and get the sound up. Sound up soon as it pops up here.
Always women have to look a certain way in order to be chosen. We've been conditioned to compete against each other to be chosen.
Yeah.
We have to have a certain body. We have to have a certain glow. We have to have a certain look. And I'll just speak in my category because I'm over 50.
Wow, she seems so very much like Taraji, doesn't she? Her intonation, something about her seems very Taraji-ish.
Once I get to this age, I start to lose that beauty, that youth, right? So the older men will start looking at the younger women, right? However, they're no different than me because they're losing the look, the body starts to go, and it's like, Negro. I want somebody next to me too. That's a trophy too.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
here we go with the double standard.
Yeah.
We're sitting here talking about women. Can we flip it?
Yeah.
I got that off of the screen because stuff started coming up, but you know, you never
It's
know
so
what's coming
hard.
up.
I ain't letting no.
Oh, it looks like Jesus Christ. This is Armani. She's going viral now for, I don't know why this thing is acting up the way it is. This should not be doing this. Let me fix this real quick. Let me delete this. Are you sure you want to know? I don't, but why is this here? Let me delete it. Yes, delete that. And let me grab one from another screen. Let me get it from the TikTok screen. Let me see. Yeah, this looks normal size. Oops, that's not the right thing. This is it. This looks normal size. Let me copy this. Copy. And let me go back to the IG. And then let me paste this. Let me paste reference. Paste reference. There we go. And let me get this to the back underneath. I'm just doing a little bit of maintenance, y'all. I hope everybody is okay out there. Scroll down. All right, there we go. Yeah, I was having some sort of malfunction with my screen for some reason. I don't know why it was malfunctioning. All right. So let's hear what she has to say on this one. Let's see.
And no old suck the life out of me. No, I'm not doing it.
Why?
You want to hoe around in your 20s and your 30s. Now you're 50 and you single because you was hoeing around all around town, community day. And now you want to get somebody that's younger because they less used. You're used. So you're used up and you want somebody less used up. No, go ahead and get your match. They be out here, they be having several baby mothers, several kids, but want a girl with no kids. No, get your match.
Wow. You know what? Oh my goodness. This is difficult because there's two clips in one. So how do we react to each one of these? So editor, this is going to need to be split because this is going to be two different videos. Okay. Let's play this.
Literally, it's always women have to look a certain way in order to be chosen. We've been conditioned to.
So, you know, it's very interesting what it is that she brings up about this outside physical thing. And, you know, I've been thinking a lot about this lately because, you know, the typical way that it goes nowadays is people are talking about how men don't really see you as a human being. They see you as something that can do something for them, as something that they can use, a resource that they can siphon from. And your beauty is one of those resources. And so it's like, this is about to end. Let me refresh it so it can start again. And it's like your beauty is one of those resources. Your youth is one of those resources. And we all get older. Getting older is a blessing. And a man who is in his right mind wants to find a woman that he can settle down with and grow old together with. However, we have a lot of dysregulated men out there who are in their Peter Pan syndrome, who they themselves, in their mind, they're not maturing. Their bodies are breaking down by the time they're 35, 40, but their minds are not maturing. And so they are using you. Let me get this up here. They're using you for the commodity of your youth, which is it's a bad gamble because it's like you have a person who loves you and cares for you and wants to grow with you, and you're going to trade her in for a quote unquote younger model or a newer model, like a car, like how they like to reference us as cars and use cars not as people, sentient beings. And the more and more I hear about it, the more and more I think that the more and more I hear about it, the more and more I see evidence that the Y chromosome is a broken X chromosome. The more and more, like, I don't even know why you all are watching the channel with this man on there, because this man right here is the one who was talking about how he's looking for a 22-year-old or 18 to 22, something like that. He's looking for some young woman that's impressionable. Remember, you see his face. I don't even know why we're watching his channel, why we've made and we continue to make these men famous with their toxic views so that they could go behind the scenes and run roughshod through young women or hurt people behind the scenes. This whole thing, what are my thoughts on this? I mean, this is the society in which we're living in. And if we want a different society, we as women have to control who is coming onto this earth. And we have got to stop bringing these men's demon seed onto the earth. I don't know how else to put it. I don't know what else to say. The more and more I see, the more and more I have, the more and more I see, the more and more I gather evidence that the Y chromosome really is a broken X, that they don't have the moral standing, that certain people need time to grow, but to them, that's the best way to do it, to get them before they grow. Ugh. Let's go into the second one. We'll go into the second one. Okay, so here.
Letting no old suck the life out of me. No, I'm not doing it.
Wow.
And this is the part that gets me. He's like, why? Look at him. How old do you think he is? He's every bit of 40 something at least, right? And this young woman is on the couch saying, I'm not going to let an old man F the life out of me or suck the life out of me. And he's like, why? Why would a person not want to have the life sucked or effed out of them? Come on. And she's telling you right there why, and he's still in denial. The crazy part about it is that they see, grown, mature women like me and or you out there, because my audience is skews upwards, right? They see us out there and they act like we don't know what it's like to be a young lady in our 20s. I remember what it is that I thought of men who were even in their 30s when I was in my 20s. I know how grotesque I thought it was. So it's like if your whole dating strategy is to find a young woman who is dumb, stupid, or desperate enough. Let me look. I don't want to say dumb, stupid. Let me see. Dumb or what? Dumb, desperate, or naive? I don't know. I'll say that. Okay, disempowered. If your whole mating strategy is to find a young woman who is dumb, desperate, or disempowered enough to have to give you a chance, I mean, this is what many of these men want. This is how the whole Passport Bros movement was born. You women here want too much. You're not willing to be my unending, unpaid slave. Let me go across and overseas and find a woman who doesn't have as much as you do, who doesn't have the privileges that you do, and let me be able to give her the bare minimum. I still remember when those girls were coming out telling us that we need to mind our business, and I'm like, oh, go ahead. I want that for you. Go ahead. If this is what, like, you're not going to listen to the people who have the experience in the situation, go ahead for it. Go ahead. So he's like, why? Why don't you? And she's like, go find your match.
You want to hoe around in your 20s and your 30s. Now you're 50 and you single because you was hoeing around all around town, community day. And now you want to get somebody that's younger because they less used. You're used.
And look at his face. He's like, I never considered this before. Look at his face. He looked horrified. I don't think, it's like, these are the people who are supposed to be leaders. Where are you leading anyone? You didn't even have the foresight enough to realize that these young women who have choices and options and are not enslaved, that they're not willingly going to come along and try to be, quote unquote, yours. Young people like other young people. Tight skin looks best on everyone. Those, like, over the age of 35, when that testosterone plummets, the muscles don't be muscling like they used to. And I'm talking about all muscles, pun intended, boy. Pun intended, bye. If you catch my drift, you know what I'm talking about. It's not like it was when you were 20. This is why you've got to cultivate yourself as a human being.
So you're used up and you want somebody less used up? No, go ahead and get your match.
Yeah, so it's like, this is why you have to cultivate yourself as a human being so that you have more to offer than a deteriorating commodity. Youth is a commodity that we are all born with, and we exchange that for wisdom, experiences, life lessons. But far too many men are like, we don't care about that stuff. All we care about is the one thing that you had no hand in. Your DNA, that's all we care about. Youth, it's fleeting. But what happens after the youth? And the crazy part about it is, now that I'm becoming older, I mean, this is part of the reason that I'm doing the Renew conference next year, why I'm working on creating a retreat next year, is because as I'm getting older and I'm thinking about, quote unquote, legacy, I'm thinking about what type of mark I want to leave on this world. How many people can I help? In how many different ways can I be of service to the earth? But these men are still in a state of wanting to plunder. Instead of thinking about what type of service they can be on the earth, let me stop it until we get to the ending part with the screenshot of the things. You all enjoying the broadcast so far? I'm enjoying. This was a good one. Kim knows what type of videos oh no, this wasn't Kim, this was somebody else, but you all know what type of videos I like to react to. So these were good because these are things I hadn't seen before. The second one I had seen because it had gone viral. I don't know why they're sitting there laughing in her face. I don't even understand how she's having a civil conversation with, I already covered that one. Yeah, so it's okay, hold on. Okay. So it's like, as they get older, instead of thinking about ways in which they can give back to the earth, they're thinking about ways to plunder, how to plunder the youth from young people, how to take, how to use them for their resources and use her for her youth and her ignorance and naivete. Instead of thinking about ways in which they can protect the youth, they're looking for ways to go shopping among them, how to pick who it is that they want, the naivest of them all, the prettiest, the youthfulness of them all. Meanwhile, we have all of these incels out here. Do these men care about the young men who have no women? They don't care, because they're 50, 60, 40, 30 shopping from the bunch of 20-something-year-old girls. So who are the 20-something-year-old men supposed to date? Are they supposed to just go to the 16-year-olds? And thus the cycle of abuse continues. This is ridiculous. Look at his face. Why? Why don't you want to have the life effed out of you? It's ridiculous. All right. Okay, let's see what we have up next. I appreciate you all for being here as we cover this. Let me check the apples real quick. There's an apple that has come in from Christine C. Thank you. I appreciate that. Let us check the next video. And then, so that was from Christine. So thank you, Christine. Here. This says trigger warning. The worst thing I experienced. So this has a trigger warning on it. So let's see what we have here. It's a mother, look like a mother laying down in a bed.
So I don't even know how to start this. I don't even know what to say. About an hour after I filmed my last video, first of all, I'm hungover. And second of all, it is what it is, okay? I had a good time last night with the person that y'all thought was my fiance this whole time. I came to work and found out that my client tried to commit suicide. I came in after going to the grocery store and went to her room to see if she needed anything before I put the groceries away. And I don't want to be graphic, but immediately took her to ER and they told me that they're going to put her on a hold. So basically, I'm here because I'm also her husband's caregiver and he can't be left alone.
That's a lot.
And I've been here with him ever since. It's been a few days now. I've just been flooded with all sorts of emotions. I'm cleaning up the mess and I wasn't sure if I was going to post this or even talk about it. But I just wanted to share because I've got like 2 million followers and I can say it gets better. Just wait it out. But if you're not going to wait it out, like don't fucking put the people that you love in a situation where they have to clean your shit up. Nobody should go through that. I don't wish that on my worst enemy.
I don't think they're thinking about you. They're thinking about not being on this earth anymore.
I want to reiterate this in case some of y'all missed it, because I am the walking billboard of it gets better. But if you feel like you can't wait, do not put your loved ones in a situation where they have to clean your shit. Just drained. I'm just so tired.
Is she for real?
By the way, like I said, this happened after I filmed my last video. Speaking of breasts, I used to host Friendsgiving every year before I moved into my car, and I miss it. So if you're hosting and you have space for us, we would like to come and visit. I need a whole party vibe. I kind of need to get away now. I feel like I need to go, but I just don't know if I can. Send the invite anyway. If you're hosting, I'll see if I can make it. Last minute road trips are my thing, so I'm not concerned about that. I just want to eat. And at this point, I feel like I need to get out of here because all of this has been a mind fuck. There's so many things going on at one time right now, not just this. Let me fill y'all in on some of the other things I'm dealing with. Remember when I asked y'all, do y'all want me to do a video that just sticks on one subject, the entire video? Or do you like when I just kind of jump around?
I'm exhausted watching this.
95% of y'all said that y'all love it. And about 85% of those people said they love it because of their ADD. They're like, yeah, girl, we got ADD just like you. And I'm like, bitch, I ain't got no ADD. But then I was like, do I have ADD? And then I just went down this whole...
All right, so let's talk about the first part of the video. A person with unaliving ideations is not mentally well. They have, and this is why they put them on a psychiatric hold, because they need help. It's not about you having to clean up their stuff. And then now she's in a situation where she's the husband's caregiver. I don't understand how she's caregiving with this attitude. It doesn't seem as if she knows enough about what the H is going on there. Oh my Lord, what's happening? This is, and oh my goodness, this is a lot. This is a lot. I don't even know what this video is about or what we're supposed to focus on, because now she's dancing outside the van. It looks like she's not in the bed anymore talking about the young lady. Now she's in a different car. And well, you know what? People of like energy attract other people of like energy. And if they're mentally unwell people who are attracted to her and she's attracted to them, and she has positioned herself as an untrained caregiver, then this is what she's signing up for. The most that I can say is please get the training that you need so that you can be of most help to people. I really don't know what to say, because a person inconveniencing you by deciding that they don't want to be here on this earth anymore. So you're like, don't inconvenience us by having to clean up your SHIT. Okay, so then what should they do? In the bathtub, outside, maybe in the forest, so that you don't have to be inconvenienced? And this is who you all say. I mean, she said she got 2 million followers. That's a lot more than me. So this is what it is that you all like. This is how you all like to do it. I think that this is dangerous. And I think the messaging is dangerous. Don't do this. Don't do that to yourself in a way that inconveniences other people. I don't know. Maybe there could have been a way that she could have contacted the unaliving hotline. So what's going on here?
6 months.
Most likely 6.
It looks like she's not living in her car anymore. It looks like she's shopping for apartments. I'm done. And now she's back in the car. My self-love lesson from this video is, if you're going to be in a position to call yourself helping people, get the necessary training so that you can be of utmost help, instead of inadvertently doing, saying, and suggesting things that could actually be that could actually be detrimental. And on that note, I'm going to leave it at that. This is a lot. And it's still going. Wow. Yeah, I see what you all are doing when you're not on my channel. Let's see. Let me scroll down. All right, so Miss Ladies resent the links, and so this is random divorce stats. How long have we been on? We've been on for 44. So let's give us 15 minutes before we take our next break. All right, let's take a look and see what we have here. Whew. Mm. That right there was very triggering, and it was triggering for different reasons. It's triggering because I found her to be very insensitive about that situation while she's calling herself a caregiver. She moved into an apartment with her fiance, so she was living in her car while she was romancing. Okay, I don't even know what to say. All right.
A couple of random divorce statistics that may surprise you. Here we go. Number 1, did you know if you work from home, you're less likely to get divorced? Number 2, if you have lost a lot of weight since getting married, it increases your likelihood of getting divorced.
I can
The
imagine.
northeastern section of the United States actually has a lower divorce rate than other sections of the US. If you have a lot of close friends that have been divorced, you're actually much more likely to get divorced yourself. The more educated you are, the less likely you are to get divorced. Divorce is really seasonal. Divorce rates are the highest in January and February every year. Good news for millennials, if you're a millennial, you're much less likely to get divorced. And if you have the same alcohol habits as your spouse, you're much less likely to divorce.
Oh, wow. That was, hold on.
A couple of
That was random and interesting. So if you work from home, you're less likely to get divorced. I wonder why. If you have lost a lot of weight, I can imagine why, because you're a different person. You have different habits, you have different patterns, and your partner may not have adopted those too. The northeastern section of the United States is lower to get divorced, but we are also less likely to get married and get married later in the Northeast than in the South. So there's that. Divorce rates, okay, let's see. If you have a lot of close friends that have been divorced, I can imagine. I mean, 'cause birds of a feather and people who they see, look, you don't have to tolerate that anymore. The more educated you are, the less likely you are to get divorced. That's because educated people are getting married later in life. Divorce rates are probably highest in those months because it's cold, there's seasonal affective disorder, or people didn't get what it is that they wanted for Christmas, or they realized they didn't have the happy family that they thought they was going to have in them Hallmark movies. Millennials are also less likely to get married, so you can't get divorced if you ain't even married. Millennials are doing so poorly in terms of finances, and Gen Z is even worse. So what is she saying here? Less likely if you have the same alcohol habits as your spouse. I can imagine, because alcohol habits relate to fitness, relate to going out, relate to standards that you have for your body, religious habits, spiritual habits, all different types of stuff. And there could be a lot of fighting around, how you spend your leisure time, and also how intoxicated a person is. It's very difficult to be in relationship with a person who has different threshold for how often and how much they like to get intoxicated, or how often and how much they like to spend on alcohol. So those were really interesting. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you. All right, let's see. This guy, we covered him in our last show. BM secretly hate their moms. Let's see what he has to say. This is that same guy we covered in the last thingies. Oh, let me see if I do it this way, if this is better. Yeah, this was better. All right, let's see. All right, this is a 6-minute video. All right.
Black men secretly hate their mama. Black men's issue is not really with you, ladies. It's with their mother, because their daddy left their mama. If you're not already triggered and you're sticking around, Crystalline Karazin, also known as the Pink Pill, wrote a letter in response to the single mother crisis and the absent father crisis within our community. And this is probably the most scathing letter that I think has ever been written, but it is the most truthful thing I think I've ever read. This letter, sister, is from someone who is sitting, not so quietly observing, and taking notes as I look upon angry black men all over the internet, making videos and blog posts about how ugly you are, how unworthy you are of love, how disgusting you look in your hairstyles and clothes, how no man in his right mind could stand to tolerate you more than one night, and it better be in the dark, with a bag over your head.
Oh, gracious.
These men are the babies you birthed, the boys you loved and spoiled, the young men you wrangled with, who grew up with you at the helm of the household, mostly without their fathers, and they hate you for it. The chickens have come home to roost as the wave of I can be both mother and father to my son has reached its peak. It's the results we'll continue to see as 80% of black women all across all social and economic strata are having their first children unmarried and unprotected. They hate you because you are there. They hate you because you're the one who stayed and struggled, no doubt made some mistakes. Hey, we all do. And found yourselves impotent and incompetent in all things man-related, an essential and necessary factor for boys to grow into men, that is. The husband you married when he was 15 years old was probably too late to truly make a difference. And even if he did, your son will always have a hole in his heart for the father who never was. But because you were there and shielded your son from death and starvation, gave your son comfort and kisses, he can't show his anger towards you. You will always be highly esteemed. He'll praise and sing odes of mama and beat anyone to a pulp if they dare say anything against you. So what does your son do with all that anger? He takes it out on every single woman that looks like you. Your son wants to call you fat and ugly and unwanted. He wants to say that you're too black and nappy-headed to be beautiful. You must be all of those things, because if you weren't, then maybe his father would have thought that you were worth sticking around for. He wants to say, Mama, you ain't worth but he can't. And so he says it to us. Now that the man boy you have raised has the body of an adult, he has no idea what he wants. He wants to be the man he never saw growing up, and he might as well be 8 years old trying on his grandfather's old suit. He is not equipped. He expresses his manhood in the basest and most primal way, out of instinct and desire for dominance. He will have Herculean expectations of you as a partner. You must work full time, come home, clean, and cook, and fuck him like a porn star, obviously, ladies, I would say that's the truth. At 3 a.m, that is, support him in every decision he makes, no matter how idiotic. Tolerate gross disrespect. To be a man is to pump and dump the worthless, unlovable, and ugly black women he despises. And if he leaves a few babies in his wake, so what? He'll make claims that he'll be around for the child, but that ain't getting his money. He'll be there for birth and bring you the grandmother along to fawn, and within 5 years, he'll be gone and maybe show up for sporadic weekends and day trips to Disneyland. But he'll leave you to do all the heavy lifting. And that son that you raise will grow up and hate you and us too. You birthed him, but he hates you because it's just easier. These men who hate you and all of us will disguise their venom about how our attitudes and hair and hats and hair hats and obesity make us undesirable to all races. So don't even bother going on pages like Beyond Black and White, because you're just a thirsty black bitch. And don't you know that nobody wants you? He'll tell you that his verbal barbs are done out of love because he wants you to do better. That black man will even say that while he spits on you, he really only dates and mates with black women. So that's proof that he really does care, right? Pleasing him will always be a moving target because you're not meant to win, only run on the fucking hamster wheel frenetically and breathlessly, only to go nowhere. And when the relationship fails, the men who dog you tell you that you needed to choose better, while having no desire themselves to actually be better candidates. They want us as women to make them as men better, all the while knowing that we cannot. We cannot rebirth what has already been birthed. We cannot recreate what has already been created. And so many of us want so much to please him because, after all, he is our son. The baby we birthed, the boy we comforted and kissed, the young man we wrangled with. We don't want to believe that we raised a monster. But we did. Clearly the damage is done. But what can we do? We cannot undo several generations of black men who despise us, but we can guard our wombs against yet another legion of black woman-hating monsters. And yes, sisters, we do have, have the power. Stop birthing these haters of black women, these fire-breathing soul killers. Demand more and, yes, choose better. But do not choose from the less rotten of a bushel full of rotten apples and hope it won't make you sick. Demand to see all the fruit, the apples, the oranges, the plums, the strawberries, watermelons, and amongst them pick the ripest, the freshest, and the sweetest. That was a lot to take in, wasn't it? That was written by Crystalline Carers in the Pink Pill 11 years ago. In a couple days, it'll be 11 years. At that time, she was already seeing the same bullshit that we're experiencing today. I'm here to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, if you got to this part, if you got through that letter and you ain't pissed off, you ought to be. We are seeing the same we are seeing the same problem amongst men. Men now are talking about the kind of women we can't take on dates. Women are talking about the kind of places that you have to take them on dates. We are so far behind, it makes no fucking sense. Because the root cause is that black men secretly hate their mothers. Because they want to blame their mothers for their fathers leaving rather than blaming their daddies for leaving to go get milk and never coming back. This is the problem within the black community, and if we don't fix this, we're fucked.
I guess he didn't beat that one out. Well. So, what can I say about this? This is an op-ed. It's an opinion editorial. It's a person's opinion about black men hating their mothers because they can't hate their fathers. Well, listen, we live in a patriarchy, right? In this patriarchy, men seem to worship other men and the rules that other men make, etc. And it seems as if men do have an aversion to blaming their fathers. It's a very strange phenomenon. I don't get it personally, but it does seem, listen, we spoke to a person on the phone here who was talking about how angry he was with his mother, the person who stayed in the fight, because how do I put it? Because the standard for women is so much higher than the standard for men. And so he was still vying for the affection of his father while also disliking and hating his mother. So yeah, so this is something that is happening out there. This is a person's opinion. This is how some of the people in the community think and behave. This is true for a certain portion of the population. I would venture, as a self-love specialist, I would venture to say that I believe that the largest amount of hate is actually directed inward. It is directed towards themselves, and the people on the outside are just scapegoats. When you love yourself and you love your features, you don't disparage people who have features like yours. When you love yourself, you don't go around trying to make life miserable for other people. This is a very interesting phenomenon. I see that 11 years ago, the whole let's not birth them idea was out. Listen, we saw a video earlier about a young lady who's trying to teach ballet, perhaps in the inner city. And the children are out of control and 5 years old asking to listen to inappropriate and graphic lyrics. And it's like, if you know that your circumstances are less than ideal for raising a child, if you know that, what can you do to avert them coming into an existence that is already very trying? Earth is an already very trying classroom. Earth is already a very trying classroom. So what do you do? What do you do? This isn't, hold on, let me fix up I snapped out my thing. I'm tired. Earth is already a pretty tough classroom as is. And then to be purposefully born and brought into this world into some dire, dastardly, terrible circumstances just adds another layer onto it. So I don't know. I will say that I have seen videos of men wishing that they were not born. There goes the alarm for us to get up. I have seen videos of men wishing that their mother, saying the biggest mistake their mother chose was to choose his father, and how he wishes that she would have chose differently, but if she would have chose differently, he wouldn't be here. So a lot of them don't want to be here. I don't know. I really don't know what to say about this. All right. I'm tired, y'all. I have a headache. I'm glad that I don't have anything else to do for the rest of this evening besides just do these videos, because I really want to get these videos up on the platform this week. And so let me pause this video and let us get up out of our seats. This is our movement break. Let's get some stretch in our arms. Let me see you. All you have to do is just hands up to the sky. One arm, palm flat to your back. Touch that elbow and stretch. Let's get up out of our feet. Come on. And let's stretch over to one side. Turn your body into a C. And then let's go. Other side. Turn your body into a C on the next side. Let's go for a swan side. Down to the ground. Oh. We've been sitting a long time, so get up. Wherever you are, if you're in bed, it's all right. Get up. If you're in bed, hug your knees up to your chest. If you're not, get up and rotate those hips. Rotate those knees. Rotate those ankles. It's like stirring the pot. Imagine that you're a spoon in a big pot. And you're stirring. You got to scrape those things off the side. Come on. Get up out of your seat. We will be back in 2 minutes. Just all you have to do is just stretch your arms. Stretch. Stretch. Do some forward flow folds. And then use your body as a spoon to scrape the pot. I'll see you all. I'll see you all in 2 minutes. All right, welcome back. Welcome back. I hope everybody had a great break and did all of your swan dives and just stretch out that back spine and do the spoon in the bowl. I hope that you all had a chance to do that. Oh, man. Man. All right. Tonya looks good in break time for movement. What? What are you talking about? All right. Let me check my apple that I got. Let me put on my music for you. You hear what I hear? I hear apples falling. Hey! I hear apples. All right, Christine sends $10. Thank you, Christine. I'm going to check the PayPal and see if there's anything in the PayPal. I hope you all are enjoying the show, the back-to-backs. These are just labor intensive to do these back-to-back reactions. So there's nothing in the PayPal. I'll check it again before we leave. But let's jump back into these reactions. Let's see. I always love doing these, but sometimes I set up a time to do them and I just am physically just not feeling it. But I wanted to still make sure that I did them because I wanted you all to be able to have videos on the other page because we have gone through our other block. So somebody says, I didn't want to say it, but you said it at Cajun Milk. I don't know what they're talking about. Thanks, Tonya, for having the movement session. I'm glad that people enjoy them. Because it's important that, and if you find yourself binge watching a show, make sure that you get up for your movement breaks. You can set a timer on your phone. At the end of, oh, I got a hair in my eye. At the end of the day, this is your life. At the end of the day, this is your life. What do you want the quality of your life to be? I have a hair in my eye that is troubling me. Uh-oh. It feels like it's gone into the eye. Let me fix this up real quick. Oh. I don't see anything. When you were young, did your mother used to blow real hard in your eye when you would have an issue? Did she used to be like, what's that now? And then just go whoo right into your eye? That used to be the worst, but it used to get the job done. I'll tell you that much. It used to feel like the worst, but it would get the job done. Oh my goodness. I just don't know where the hair is. Oh, is there something on my eyeball? All right. Oh, brother. I feel like I need to get a Q-tip and rub on my eyeball because it's troubling me. I feel something on there. All right. So your mother used to do that to you? Peacetime? I know that's right. Oh, no, it's past time. Past time. All right, let us go to the next video and see what that is. I want to see the video of, you know what, there was a video, there was a video I saw earlier this week. I want to react to that one. It was of an old woman talking about how she got married. She got pregnant at 15 or something like that, and the guy didn't want to marry her and said she was too black and all this other stuff. I want to react to that video because I saw that and I was like, I think I put it in my list. So if no one sends it to me, I'll find it on my own and react to that. Oh my gosh. I feel like I need an eyedropper. Goodness. All right. We're going to just have to go forward however we can. Oh, I think we reacted to this video right here. We reacted to this one where she says she's not going to let her old...
You're used. So you're used up and you want several kids but want a girl with no kids. No, get your match.
Okay, yeah. So we reacted to that one already. So I appreciate you sending it. Somebody else had sent that one as well. All right, let's see. Let's check the next video.
Baby.
This is a 7-minute video. My gosh, girl, what happened to the 1 minute and 3 minute videos? Let's see what this is about. All right, here.
Baby, let's talk about how men's refusal to do the bare minimum destroys the family and the family dynamic. So on my last post, I showed 2 examples of women just getting out of the home, basically running away because their husbands or partners were doing fuck all for the family. And this person commented, "Mom had me doing laundry and cleaning at age 5. This is a woman, by the way. I assume her name's Indigenous Barbie. So this is why so many girls' oldest daughters get parentified. Because the mother is pressing somebody into service to take the place of a worthless husband who doesn't do a goddamn thing. It's crazy how everything bad in this world is about serving men. You know? And it's funny because when women get a divorce, people say, oh, you're destroying the family. No, the men are destroying the family. Because whether you leave or whether you stay, if the husband's not doing his part, the family's already destroyed. The mother is physically not going to be capable of doing it all. So somebody's going to get pressed into service, typically an oldest daughter. But even if all the kids share the responsibility that's not theirs, equally, that's time away from them being kids. That's time away from their studies. That's time that should be spent doing the things that they're supposed to be doing that has now gone into doing the work of a grown individual. Whether it's taking care of the other kids, helping to cook dinner, doing the chores, doing the laundry, picking up the house, it is something that basically an adult should have been responsible for, with the exception of kids doing things to clean up their own mess. I believe in kids picking up behind themselves, making their own beds, even when they get to a certain age, doing their laundry. But that age is not 5. And I definitely want to hold the mothers responsible for the parentification, but at the same time, I know there's a lot less pushback from society, and there's even encouragement from society to push your children into doing chores rather than making your husband do what he's supposed to do. I mean, people are going to rise up in the millions to defend you if you say, hey, yeah, I made my child do X, Y, and Z around the house because, hey, I shouldn't be doing all by myself. Yeah, Mom, you need a break. Let those kids pick up. Yeah, I believe kids should be picking up after themselves. But if you say, I made my husband pick up after himself, oh my God, you are the worst thing ever. You are a harpy. You are the reason he's going to leave. Men need to rest. Oh, they work so hard. Like, women aren't working hard. We are not living in some kind of 1950s TV commercial where women just stay home. Women are working. The vast majority of women in the West work. They work outside the home. So if the logic is people who work don't have to do chores, women should be doing nothing, right? But apparently only men need these gobs and gobs of rest. And we know that the parentification is not equal. Yes, I have heard of guys being parentified, but 9 times out of 10, it is a girl, most likely the oldest daughter. So you're just ruining your children's dynamic. Obviously, the child who's been parentified grows resentful of the other children because girls see their brothers who are either older or younger than them who are running around free just like their lazy-ass fathers who don't have to do a motherfucking thing. And they're angry because obviously they did not choose this dynamic. If the mother wants to enable patriarchy in her own life by taking on more than her fair share of work, well, that's her problem. But it is unfair of you to dump that labor on your daughter. So they see the different ways they're being treated. And the funny thing is, not funny ha ha, but funny fucked up, is that girls are told, oh, you're much more responsible, you're much more mature, and that's why you have to do all this work. But then they don't get the same rights and privileges when it comes to going out and
Well, that's
dating and having
true.
fun. You're supposed to be so responsible and mature when it's time for you to take on the role of a grown adult in your household and nurse babies and, change diapers. But all of a sudden, you're not allowed to date until you're grown. You can't wear makeup. You can't do any of the things that would indicate female maturity. But your brother is allowed to drop it like it's hot, go around with all the little girls in the neighborhood, and you're not allowed to do any of that. And some of it is a function of keeping you in the house so that the mother doesn't lose her labor supply. That's why she tells you can't do that stuff. But a lot of it is just plain old sexism. You're so mature, you can do her work, but you're, not allowed to do anything that you want to do. And it's BS. I hate those kinds of ever shifting double standards. That's like one of my big pet peeves, because when I was teaching fifth grade, I saw so many girls who didn't have a moment to breathe to themselves. You want them to do their little sister's hair and watch their baby sister and do this and do that for the family, but you don't give them anything. Meanwhile, their brothers are running around like wild animals. They don't have to watch children who aren't theirs, and when they're grown and they're having a bunch of random babies, they're not going to have to watch the children that are theirs, and it's BS. And how can you stop this cycle? By holding men accountable today. Maybe your mother or the women in your family did not hold men accountable, but that doesn't have a damn thing to do with you. It starts right now. My parents were actually pretty good about this. Shout out to them, because I have a male fraternal twin, and there was not any disparity in the amount of chores and stuff that we were given. And I always saw my father doing his fair share around the house. He cooked dinner, he made our lunches, he cleaned, and that was in addition to hiring household help. So I was definitely raised to, view men as a responsible part of the household. But I noticed that there was a lot of reversion when it came to times we would have other family members in the house. When I was growing up, Thanksgiving was this huge big deal. And after dinner, a lot of times the women would be left doing all the cleaning up, and men would be watching football. And I remember one time my mom complained that one of her sisters-in-law didn't get up and help clean. And instead, she was watching football with the women. My mom was just outraged. Oh, and how come so-and-so was watching football with the men? And I let her get all of her energy out there. I was like 10. And I was like, well, what's the problem? Because the men are watching football, so why shouldn't she watch the football? My mom was like, well, the women were in there cleaning. I was like, okay, so the problem was not like you're trying to make it gender, but the issue is that some people were in the living room watching football and not cleaning up, not helping. Don't try to make it gender. Don't put it on one party. So I think ever since then, it's just been a practice that everybody helps to clean up. But I think that is illustrative of the fact that while you may be doing well, a lot of times huge family dynamics will put pressure on you to try to make you revert to that old way of thinking. And in all fairness, my mother was born in the 60s, so she's doing the best she can. But yeah, whenever you see that old-fashioned kind of rhetoric seeping in, let people know you're not going to stand for that. If anything, you need to be mad at people who actually live in the home who are not helping. When your brother brings a lady over and your mother's complaining about her not making his plate or whatever, like, he's got legs. Why does she need to make his plate? She's a guest here. Wouldn't it be more appropriate for him to be offering her food? For him to be helping out? This is his home, whether he lives here now or used to live here. He knows where everything goes, Why does she need to be jumping up to serve him? Your in-laws bring some kids over, and they're letting them roam free, and somebody's like, oh, so-and-so, the mother needs to come get these kids. No, their father's right there. Their father is the one who's part of our family, and he is the one who needs to wrangle his kids. So you can't change everything overnight, but you can definitely make sure that dynamic doesn't happen in your home. That's it. Like and follow for more.
Wow, you know what? All I can say on that, because I mean, she's giving her take and her opinion on it. Me personally, I'm tired of the automatic, how servitude is automatically assigned and reverted to women. I'm tired of that. And I think a lot of women are tired of it too. That's why they're opting out. And men are losing their free labor force, and they don't know how to deal with it. Well, some men are losing their free labor force in droves, and they don't know how to deal with it. So I approve this message. Everybody, listen, the most households nowadays, the mother is also working. The father is working. Everybody needs to be rolling up their sleeves and pitching in the household. It's, oh gosh, yeah. Especially when the children are young. Like, ugh. Let's see what else we have here. Try before you buy. Let's see what this is about. 1 minute and 27 seconds. Thank goodness. Some of these videos are so long that it doesn't leave much space for commentary. Let's see. Oh, we don't have the volume up.
I don't have sex out of relationships.
So how do you get into the relationship?
Through conversation, through getting to know someone.
And then you don't try before you buy?
I don't try before I buy.
We're getting to know each other, yeah?
Yeah.
I want to put all my intention into you. But after a while, once we're talking to each other, you got a duty of care to look after me. You know what I'm trying to say? That I've got needs and stuff.
100%. I believe that.
Exactly.
I have got a duty of care to look after you
Yeah, so
when
if
you're my man.
How do we get there?
Through maintaining a healthy relationship together.
So before we're in a relationship and
Mhm.
we're just talking
Yeah.
and just dating and stuff,
Yeah.
are you cool with me sleeping with other people?
Absolutely not.
So you want me to go on a quest of celibacy while I get to know you?
Yes.
This is ridiculous.
It's just showing your loyalties and your commitment.
Why do I need to be
and
loyal
your
to you? I don't
trust.
even know you like that. We're getting to know you.
Yeah, because you want to make it something. You're trying to pursue something with me.
There's no jeopardy there. So if you gave me something, that would make me...
Want to stay.
No, not want to stay, but take away the distractions. Forget about
But
everybody
this is
else.
what I mean. Mentally train yourself to not be distracted so that you can focus on one person
But
and maintain your energy there and loyalties whilst you get to know them.
But I want to have sex.
Yes, so graft for it. Nothing easy should come that easy. Someone giving you their body should not be that accessible.
What kind of graft are you talking about? Like, you want? What kind of graft is that? I have to be your boyfriend. Like, that's a different kind of graft. Not just get to know you and be cool. You're trying to tell me graft till I'm being your boyfriend.
You have to make that initial commitment because why am I going to give myself to you and then you say, well, actually, it's not for me the next day? I don't have sex out of relationships.
Well, 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 well. What are your thoughts about this? This is very interesting. On the one hand, they want you to be untouched. On the one hand, they want you to make other men jump through the hoops to be able to be with you, but not them. They want to be able to come into the door and just be able to jump up and down on top of you, but every other single man on earth before and after you, I don't think they really care about the after, but well, maybe they do because some of them will be wanting to come back and they want you to stay a seamless, a spotless palette until they return whenever it is that they feel like returning. So this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like when people are discerning with who it is that they jump into bed with. But the moment that you tell them no, then all of a sudden it's a problem. But this is what it looks like. Okay, so ideally, what would happen is people would take their time to get to know one another. And if you have interest in being with this person, then you focus on that person until you decide that you want to be with them. It's very difficult. Like certain matchmakers won't match you or won't work with matching you if they know that you're having intercourse with other people simultaneously because you have got to have a clean palate. You have to clear out, hold on. You have got to clear out your calendar, clear out your priorities, clear out your preoccupation and concentrate on that person. Now, this is what I'm saying. It's a lot easier to determine whether or not you truly want to just focus on one person. It's a lot easier to do that when you are just focused on that person. Now, trust and believe. Listen, I love intimacy. I love the connection and the sharing. However, it has to be right. What these men want is what these men seem to want is they want to be able to engage in intimate activities with you, and then be like, well, I don't really know if I want a relationship. My life is not where it's supposed to be right now. I got this stuff going on with my baby moms. I'm trying to get a new career. I'm on this new fitness journey. Oh, I'm stacking my money. Oh, I'm doing this. Oh, I'm doing that. Oh, I never really got a chance to date when I was younger. Oh, this is my time to date now. So they want to be able to enter and penetrate you in the most intimate of ways while still simultaneously maintaining their distance. There is this thing called PNC, post-nut clarity. Hold on. There is this thing called PNC, post-nut clarity. And there are many men who are in a love haze and a love daze until they get that PNC. And then all of a sudden they're able to see with clear goggles. Then they're like, oh, this wasn't really where it is that I wanted to be, but what it is that he really wanted was to conquer. What it is that he really wanted was the release. But instead of going to a working girl whom he can pay and get that release, he wants to conquer a non-working girl. Because if all you really want is the release, you can get your release in some ways. But no, they want you to relieve them. Remember, he was talking about how you have a duty of care for him. How? This is what her standard is. If you want that girl, you don't have to get with her. Just go get with somebody else who has a different standard than she does. Why try to convince somebody out of what their standard is? Just let her go find a person who is on a similar wavelength. That's all I can say about that. Seriously, because what is it that we're talking about here? What are we talking about at the end of the day? What is the conversation really, truly about? About two people who are not a good match. All right, she's not the one for you. There are plenty of women who are willing to bust open their cocoa bread, pop their pea for a pancake. They're willing to do that. She's not one of them. But these are the type of women that they say that they want. They just want you to be that way for all other men. Not you, of course. No, it's those other guys. I'm the man. That's it. Let's get to the next video. All right. This is a content creator I actually happen to like. I don't think I've reacted to any of her stuff before, though. Let's see what we have here.
I don't do casual dates because I'm not really a casual person. A dinner party setup video that I posted and someone commented like, you just don't do things halfway. I was like, you know what? I want that to be my brand.
The idea of a woman sharing her time and energy with a man and him acting like, I don't know if that's worth the price of dinner. If you want a provider, he's the kind of man that doesn't mind providing a meal on a first date. He's not somebody who's worried about being used. Sometimes it's not about the man and his means. It's about the man and his mentality. The kind of men that are like, I only do drinks dates and I only do coffee dates. That's fine. Don't do them with me. Don't compromise on what you want because this one dude won't do it. Because what one man won't, another man will. One of the best pieces of advice that my mother ever gave me is what you compromise to get, you must compromise to keep. So when you start off doing coffee dates and drinks dates, knowing you don't like that, knowing that's not what you want, you're going to have to keep compromising. And once he's talked you down off your standard, he knows your standards don't really need much. So he's going to keep testing those boundaries. I don't kiss on the first date. But you went out with me and you say you don't do coffee dates. And here we are at Starbucks. Like, he's going to keep testing those boundaries. He's going to keep you lowering your standards till you barely recognize who you are because you're so busy trying to impress him. If he's worried about the cost of buying a woman a meal on a date, he can't afford to date. He's trying to date on a budget. He can get in 5 or 6 coffee dates for the price of a decent dinner. So that's what he's trying to do. It's not your job to make his dating more affordable for him. I'm not saying go out to eat and order 48 oysters as an appetizer. Nobody's saying that. But what I am saying is, girl, get what you want. They chase, we choose. We're not lowering our standards so that somebody's dusty son can meet them.
I don't do casual dates because I'm not really a casual.
You know what I'll say about this? I'll say I think that things are a little bit different now than they were back in the days. And I'll say this, right? It really depends on what your threshold is for getting to know a person before you go out. So nowadays we have online dating. And with online dating, you're coming into contact with a lot of different people. And to be quite honest, I honestly don't want to sit down to dinner with every single person. I honestly don't. Well, I'm not really much of a go out to dinner type of person anyway. I like to do something a little more active, a little more fun. I like fun dates, etc. So I'm not really that sit down to dinner type of person. I'm more, let's do some rock climbing, or let's do a nature walk, or because me, I'm really trying to get to know a person. I'm not sitting down for a coffee date, because if we're sitting down for coffee, we could be sitting down for food. I really want to be just a little bit more active than that. That's just me. And I'll say that I think that, and this is going to be an unpopular opinion, I just think that as the landscape of modern dating changes, I think that we have to take into consideration where it is that we are, what it is that we want, what it is that we need. You know what I mean? I personally don't need to sit down at dinner. I don't need that. I do need to try to get to know this person. Me personally, I don't meet up with people that I don't see on video, because there's some restaurants out there that are playing games with us now too. So I don't meet up with people that I don't see I don't meet up with people that I don't see in video. I don't meet up with people that I don't have that rapport with already. You know what I mean? So it's like, and it really depends. Like, who is this person and what do I want to do with this person, this unique person? Not a template of whatever type of date that I feel that I need to get for what reason. I don't even understand how sitting down for dinner became the standard anyway, but to have this template that is set up that this is just add water kind of instant complete pancake mix kind of thing. Just, I have all of this stuff in my mind, just add water. No. This person, what are their likes and their dislikes? What type of time are they on? What type of activities do they like? I think that dating can be a time for you to really get to know a person and their likes and dislikes. Now, is this person a foodie and they just want to go out to restaurants because that's how they get down? They just really love food. They really love eating food and all this other stuff. Me personally, I ain't going to be the one for that type of life. You know what I mean? Like, if we are out doing an activity and we're hungry, and then and it's time to get some food, of course, with the types of stuff that I eat, it's not going to be fast food anyway, right? But it's something that comes up in the course of the dating. So I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about this one. I don't see how dinner and a caliber of restaurant is a standard. If that's what, maybe she's a foodie too, and maybe that's what she likes, then finding a foodie, because I think that dating is an opportunity for you to get to know a person and see how they live their life. I dated a guy who he used to buy a lot of expensive food, but that's what he did for himself. That wasn't some one-off that he did for me. It was like, this is how he liked to live his life. And so I was coming along into a purview of how he likes to live his life. And so, yeah, me and what I like something a little bit different. I like live music. You all know I like funk music. I like funk bands. I like art. I like travel. I like the outdoors. I like physical activity. I like those sorts of things. And so if we're talking and these are things that you're also into, then we're more of a match. I don't think sitting down at a restaurant really helps you determine whether or not this person is a match. Not only that, I think that people can pretend to be a certain way, right? When they are sitting down and everything is calm, right? I like to see people in different surroundings so I can really see, like let me see what you're like outside of this. Let me see what you're, you know what I have done before, not on a first date, but in the course of dating. You know those rope obstacle courses, right? I know whether or not you're the type of person that is super competitive, and as soon as we get on that rope obstacle course, to hell with you, Tanya. I'm at a certain physical level, so you're in the dust. I know a lot about you from that, right? Trampoline park. There's kids at the trampoline park. How do you relate to and interact with other people's children? How do you interact with the parents? How do you deal with a situation that's scary? An obstacle that may be a bit more challenging. How are you physically? Do you have some physical ailments that I need to know about? What do your damn socks look like when you take off your shoes? All jokes aside, but what do your socks look like? What does it smell like when your shoes come off? You know, how do you deal with customer service? So all of these different things, like different things that I've done, it's like I really want to get to see a person in challenging times, in a situation that requires ingenuity, in a situation that requires physical strength, in a situation that requires chivalry. I like to see those sorts of things. I'm not much of a bowler. I saw somebody mention bowling. I'm not much of a bowler. But if that's your thing, I mean, if you are an avid bowler, but I don't want to just go out. Hold on. I don't want to just go out as a calendar filler. Like, oh, let me just fill my calendar with this particular activity. It's like, I want to see how you're living. I want to see what type of human being you are. I want to see what your personality and your temperament are like. I want to see what values you hold true. So that's just me. That's just me. And so I like something a little bit different. I don't judge people by not being able to afford a certain level of dinner, because honestly speaking, listen, and it all depends on what was the barrier to entry, so to speak. So like if we spoke on the phone once and you want to go hang out and whatnot, right? I'm not expecting you to spend a whole bunch of money on dinner, because I'm expecting that if we just talked and met up and we didn't really, there was no real, because you know what, nowadays it's like you could talk on the phone till you blue in the face, right? But you don't really know what looking in that person's eyes, what feeling. I'm very energy sensitive. You don't know what that energy is like being next to them. You don't see how they move, how they walk, how they talk, how they speak to other people. I like to see those things. And I'm not expecting you to spend $200 on dinner and all that other stuff. If we just talked once briefly, and like, let's say we talk on an early Saturday, and he's like, oh, look, I want an XYZ. And if I happen to be free, listen, I'm not one of those type of people that have a whole bunch of rules and playbooks and all that other stuff. I play it by ear, case by case basis. So if we happen to talk on a Saturday and he's like, "Oh, there's this thing happening at Central Park, you wanna come with?" Okay. If I'm free and I feel like it and I'm up for it, I'll go see what it's like. Because they have like those outdoor trampolines, they have the bubble run, they have the bouncy house village where you just go and you just jump on a bunch of bouncy houses. They have they got Shakespeare in the Park. They got all different types of things, right? And so I'm really expecting to get to know a person. I'm expecting to see what you're like. I'm expecting to see how you maneuver, how you move. That's what I'm expecting to see. Maybe I'm just at a different stage in my dating life, but I was never really that girl. I was never really that girl. And with dealing with the type of money that I deal with and all of that stuff, like certain things just aren't a big deal to me, because I know that it is not indicative of anything more than what exists in that moment and how much you're spending in that moment. Because some men, in order to try to get your barriers down, will spend ridiculous amounts of money on stupidness, but that's not how they're really living their life. This is why sometimes I like to just take a purview, enter into how a man lives. You know, listen, you want to know a great date idea? Go to an escape room. See how that man deals with challenges. Listen, for real, for real. All right. I thought that was good, but I thought it went a little long, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Okay, so we've come to the end of Text Notification Squad submitting their video. So let me go into my stash. Let me reach down in my purse. And what is this? Somebody is writing me? What? But I have a story for you. Who is this? Reach down in my purse and pay your way and your homeboy's way and even your cousin's way. They don't never have to pay, don't have no cars. Run around in bars, try to hang around with stars, and like Badu, I'ma tell you the truth, so show and prove. Bust a move, I think you better call Tyrone. Call him and tell him, come on, help you get your... You know what? I will never forget
Men
being young.
are not qualified.
I will never forget being young and going to see Erykah Badu in concert and the Sweetwater festivals, and I'll never forget those days. Like, we lived in an amazing time when we were young, where there was Outkast and Goody Mob, and who else was out then? Biggie was still alive, but you know that wasn't really my jam. But Eve, dum 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 dum. And I remember I had this Ford Explorer, right? And I was young. I had gotten this 12-inch woofer for the back. And I just remember me and my sister driving down the road and Eve was playing and that woofer was banging in the back. Man, those were the days. Those were the days. I miss those days. Like nowadays, I don't know what young people have nowadays. The things that it's sad. It's sad. Let me look in my collection. Let me reach down in my... Maxwell. Oh, but you know, I had some drama at the Maxwell concert where he kicked me out from behind stage. So he's a weird guy. He kicked me. I was backstage. He kicked me out. I don't know why. I thought we was young and cute and we were having fun and he kicked us out. So let's see. Oh, I got some good ones in here. Where's the one with the old granny? Let me see. Reach down in my purse and pay your way and your homeboy's way and even your cousin's way. They don't never have to pay, don't have no cars, hang around in bars, try to hang around with stars. Like Badu, I'ma tell you the truth and show and prove and bust a move. You know, Casey and JoJo was a little before my time. I wasn't young enough to go to any of their concerts. I mean, I wasn't old enough to go to any of their concerts. Erykah Badu, that season was when I was really just coming of age then. But yeah, no, Casey and JoJo was a little bit before my time. Like I didn't even really get what they were kind of talking about. You know, take my money, my house and my cars. For one hit of you, oh, you can have it all. 'Cause making love anytime we do. Girl, what was that? 'Cause making love anytime we do. Girl, you're worse than drugs. 'Cause I'm an addict of you. Hey, I can't wait to do. Oh, man. Man, that was before I started dating, but man, take my money. my house and my cars. For one hit of you, you can have it all. 'Cause making love anytime we do, girl, you're worse than drugs. 'Cause I'm an addict of you. Man. All right, so we have Tasha K gets into it with a transgender person. I want that old lady video though. I want that old lady video. Where is that? Let me go to my thing. Oh, was that You Got Me Fiending? You Got Me Fiending. Okay. Yeah. Let me see if I can find that old lady. Where my old lady at? Where my old lady at? I remember I went to New Orleans and they was bumping all different types of songs. Where my old lady at? They was bumping that. Where my old lady at? Hey, where my old lady at? And they was like, where my and those girls in New Orleans, man, the way they was bouncing, they was like, where my old lady at? It was so good back in the days. Those were the days, man. Those are the days. I can't find the old lady video where she was talking about how maybe they deleted it. Talking about how her husband and he didn't want to marry her and all this other stuff. Oh, maybe I don't have it on this. Where would I have put that at? Where would I have put that at? Where would I have put that? I think they did. I don't see it, but somebody sent it to me. Because making love. Somebody from the text notification squad, can you all put the link for that video? If you know what I'm talking about, it's an old lady who's given the story of how she, oh, you know what? I might have it in my email. Let me see, because I want to react to that. Ain't nobody, who the hell want to see Jodeci now? These men, they, hell no. Hell no. Hell no. Don't nobody want to see them now. Don't nobody want to see them now. Oh, they said my video is blocked. Oh, because of that Drew Carey thing. So my last video got blocked from reacting to the Drew Carey piece with Sharon Stone. So I'm going to have to fight that once I get off of here. Because making love, somebody said it's gone. Anytime we do, girl, it's worse than drugs. Because I'm an addict of you. Let me see. Pretty Wahala says they hit the wall hard. So she must be Nigerian using a word like Wahala. Oh, she's talking about Casey and JoJo, how they hit the wall hard. Where's the old lady? I'm looking for the old lady where she was talking about her relationship. Can somebody send me that video? We're going to react to Tasha K in the interim. We'll react to Tasha K in the interims. Girl, it's worse than drugs. Because I'm an addict of you. Oh my gosh. Here we go. I can't leave you alone. Her sister took down the video? Yeah, but the video went viral, so somebody else has it. Find it for me, please, because maybe that's why it's gone from my list, but the video went viral, so somebody else has it. Can you find it for me somewhere, please? I can't leave you alone. You got me fiending. You got me fiending. I'm so mad they took my video down, but I'll fight it. I'll get it back up. All right, well, let's take a listen to this, everybody. Tasha K gets into it with a trans woman after saying men are men and women are women. Let's see what we have here.
Men, women are women. Okay. And what's that mean? What that mean is
women are women.
No.
Yes,
were you
women
born
are
a
women.
woman? Was you
Women
born a
are women.
woman?
Let me invite my sister to say.
Okay, yeah, come sit down. Come sit down. I'm Tasha K. That's who the fuck I am.
Hold on. This is partly cut off. Let me see what's going on here. Oh, my goodness. Okay.
Okay, well, welcome Kenzie K to the stage.
Women are women, men
Your
are
name
men.
is right there anyway. You were supposed to be sitting there.
Women
not
are
the
women or
other.
men
But
are
were you
men.
born a woman?
It don't matter what you
It
want.
does, yes, I was.
Okay,
Can
then.
you have babies?
And I don't want none.
Okay.
Got two of them already.
By who?
By who?
By who? What, they came out the asshole? Don't take my money. Don't take my money. Don't take my money. I got three niggas. I got three niggas on your ass. You're not finna do that. Hey, Shaq. Hey, Shaq. Hey, Shaq. What we not finna fucking do, because I'm gonna have niggas on your ass.
Ain't no bitch.
I'm a bitch. I'm a bitch. Men are men, women are women. Okay.
And what's that mean?
What?
Wow. So you see that? This is what I'm saying. Some of these people are mentally unstable. That there are certain things that they're saying that are an outward expression of that mental instability. And some of these people are so deluded. Like you see this towering person who is getting in her face, trying to snatch her mic from her, and is getting all brolic so that three men have to come in, and then this person is going to be like, don't touch me, don't touch me. But you're touching someone else. Do you not see the instability in that? So there was some more that she said on the tail end of this. I got to search for that video. But this right here is just very telling. And so this person wants to be able to throw their big hand up in her face and intimidate her, but doesn't like it when other people with XY chromosome gathers this person together and protects Tasha K from getting assaulted by this person. This is unbelievable. I personally, I don't even know what to say about this besides just be careful out there. I'm happy that she had people with her because this is not a safe environment to be in, confronting these people's delusions, and you know that they're bigger and stronger than you are and have some mental instability. No, 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 no. All right, let's see what else we have on the list. Has anybody found that video for me yet? No one's put it inside of the group yet. So, text notification squad, post the link inside the group we have behind the scenes. Let me do a quick search for that video. I thought someone would have found it by now. Cause I know it's on the talk. I know it is because they got everything on the talk. Let me click and see. What did she say? What did she say in that video? Let me see if I have it on my list on here, as a matter of fact. I don't see it. I don't see it. Let me search for it. Let me search for it. Oh, somebody told me something about Saucy and saying this stuff about about a BBL. If you're on the text notification squad, send the link to me behind the scenes. What can I search for? What did the woman say? She was an old woman talking about why she didn't get married. Somebody said it's on Bougie's page, BNB. Let me see, because, you know, let me see. Bin. Let's see. I'm looking for it. Where is it? Oh, I think I need to go to her page. Okay. Oh, wow. I'm on her page. She getting all in that man. Damn. Wow. Where's the... Oh, here it is. Here's the old lady.
Someone emailed me.
Okay. Perfect. Oh, Konicha Melon 2 on... What is that? Is that TikTok? Let me see. Hold on. Where's the video itself? I don't see the woman talking. Let me go to Kanicha Melon 2 on TikTok and see. Not TikTok. Twitter, which is now X. You sent the link via my website. Thank you. Let me go there and take a look. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, that's the Tasha K one. That's the Tasha K video. I'm looking for the one of the old lady. Let me, because we just reacted to the Tasha K video. Okay, here. Let me open this on YouTube. This is 16 minutes.
Was an impromptu interview by her sister.
With me being a woman.
Here, let's take a look. Thank you.
For what? I don't need.
Okay, here.
Speaks to what many of our foremothers went through.
I don't have a need for a man.
Impromptu interview by her sister, and we all need to hear this.
There, let me go to shorts. Oh, God. Okay, let me get this. All right, perfect.
This story. It was very eye-opening, and it speaks to what many of our foremothers went through.
All right, so let's get this party started. I didn't set my timer for the breaks, but we do need to take another break soon. All right. That cheekbone sharp, y'all. Sharp. All right, let's go forward.
I don't have a need for a man.
5 or 6 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Just chat with him and then he gone.
Well, what do you need him for? Why?
I don't need him. Oh. I don't really need him. I'm kind of trying to tell you I don't need no man.
Okay.
But with me being a woman, I miss a man's company. And with me being a woman and been married and been in different relationships, I miss a man's company and I miss a man's touch. But that's all. I can't get that unless I get all the other stuff that comes with a man, and I don't want that. And anything I want, I can go get, and I ain't got to nobody to tell me. If I go somewhere and come back why you gone so long? No, you got to go. You know, or where you been?
So here's a question for you. That was the men of old times where they talked about the man being the head of the house, and he just basically, the women were property to them. That's how it used to be back in the day. In the current generation, things are a little bit different. It doesn't seem like men try to lord over women and control them. I don't know. Look, why are you looking like that? Now let me ask you this. You say you'll never marry again, but your marriage, the one marriage that you have had, was really more like an arranged marriage. You never asked to marry him in the first place.
I didn't.
And you never said that you loved him in the first place. How did you get married? What's the story?
My mama, I had a baby. And
how old were you?
I was 14.
Okay.
And I had a baby. And but when I got pregnant, the boy said it wasn't his baby.
Mm-hmm.
And he went on and told Mama about the girl he was liking, how she was high yellow and built like a Coca-Cola bottle. And what makes you think I'm gonna fool with somebody ugly and black and snappy headed like your daughter?
Oh, wow.
Over her.
Mm-hmm.
So his sister said, well, that's what you're doing. Because Mama, he's the only boy that be here, and he be here. Daddy said he ain't been there, he ain't been there.
His dad?
His dad.
His daddy believed him.
Mm-hmm.
If he didn't do, if he said he wasn't messing with her, he wasn't messing with her.
Mm-hmm. So he went his way, and I went my way. And through the pregnancy, I was alone.
Mm-hmm.
And back then, the little girls I played with on the plantation, I couldn't play with no more. Because I done got pregnant to the older folks. I am to the older folks.
You're a bad influence.
I'm a bad influence for them. And I'm grown. So I couldn't. I didn't have nobody to play with. The only somebody stood by me was the boy's sister. The boy that got me pregnant, his sister. And so after the baby was born, things was still going on fine with Mama until when the baby was born, he wanted us to get back together. You done said all this about me and went on your way. And then when the baby come looking like you want us to date and start dating and get married and raise the baby. And I told him no. I told him he can go screw his mom.
Oh, go do what to his mom?
Screw her. And so Mama heard me. And when Mama heard me, she came in there where we was. And he said, well, I'm gone, Miss Dale. I tried. And he walked out. And because I wouldn't have him and date him, she would always tell me, you got to find you and that bastard baby somewhere to stay. You can't stay here no more.
Now, this was your mother?
This was my mom.
And you were 14 years old?
I was 14 years old.
You and the bastard baby can't stay with her?
We can't stay with her. And so, and every time she leaves, she was a partying woman. And she drank heavy. And every time she leave home, she'll tell me, I'm leaving. But when I get back, you and that bastard child of yours better be gone. But I ain't have nowhere to go. When she come back, I'll be still sitting there, holding my baby. And one night she came in and this other boy, John Hare, was there playing checkers with my oldest brother. They were about the same age.
You know what? I just want to stop this real quick and say this. I think that we really have to examine the role that we play in how children are seen and viewed in our community. Because I know that is a common thing. If you get pregnant, you cannot stay here. The baby is a mark, is a stain on you and the family, so that you have to get out of the family. You're no longer family. That's not my grandchild, or whatever the case may be. But you and that child need to leave because you can't stay here now that you're grown. And then she says her mother was a party woman, and I can imagine that's probably part of the reason that at 14 she was unsupervised. And so I can't even imagine the stress involved in somebody saying, when I get back here, you better not be here. You're going out to the club, lady. Where is she supposed to go in the middle of the night? And it's like, if you don't do as I say and be with a person that you don't want to be with, like even in some Bible verse, it is a verse in the Bible that if a man, capital R words a woman, that he has to marry her. So that sounds good in the Bible, but the woman has to marry her capital R wordist. So now she has to be tied to him forever. So because she did not want to tie herself forever to a man who called her all types of nappy-headed, black and ugly and all this other stuff, now her mother is trying to punish her because at the end of the day, she doesn't want the responsibility of her grandchild being in that house. This right here to me is a travesty. We look at Black men and boys and how they regard babies, but do we as a community, do we love and support babies? Do we see babies as a prize? Do we see them as the future? So it's like, it's no wonder women are closing up their wombs. Like a suitcase, just close it up. Like Transformer, more than meets the eye, just close it back up into yourself. I see why. We don't appreciate babies in this community. We don't care about the future. We don't make special concessions for the gift that is life. We see pregnant women as a burden. We see children as a burden. I can't even tell you how many of my friends used to scream. Like when I had them as my friends, they would scream at their children. They pushed their children away. I had to leave a friendship because of the way this woman spoke to and treated her son. The way she would just shove him, get away from, shut up. I couldn't be a party to that. I had to leave that friendship. I thought that there were some much bigger issues there. But how do we regard children in our community, period, point blank? How do we? And I want us to take this time to look at ourselves and how we behave behind the scenes. Do you treat your child as if they are something precious coming to tell you something amazing, like one of your favorite people that you want to interact with? Or do you treat them like a burden, stopping you from scrolling on your phone or getting in your way or whatever the case may be? Do you treat your child like somebody who stopped you from living your life, not that you are who is responsible for your child coming into this life? So yeah, this is deep, but there's a lot that we need to examine about how we show up for children and how we have been taught to regard and show up for children or not show up for them.
Playing checkers together. And she came in, when she came in, she said, "God damn, you still here? I told you when I got back I want you and that bastard child to be gone." He didn't even say a word. They just kept playing. And then the next day he came down and he asked me, "Was Mama there?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Well, tell her I want to holler at her a minute." And
so he ain't asked you nothing?
Hold on, let me rewind it because I feel like I talked over a part and I don't know what's happening right now. Where did the checkers come in? Hold on.
And one night she came in and this other boy, John Hale, was there playing checkers with my oldest brother. They were about the same age. They were playing checkers together. And she came in, when she came in, she said, "God damn, you still here? I told you when I got back I want you and that bastard child to be gone." He didn't even say a word. They just kept playing. And then the next day he came down and he asked me, "Was Mama there?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Well, tell her I want to holler at her a minute." And
so he ain't asked you nothing?
He never asked me to marry.
I had the baby. So here's a guy that's asking to speak to your mom. Now, you don't know why.
I don't know why.
Okay.
But he told her, he said, "I heard you last night speaking to Lucy. What you said to her, did you mean it?" And she said, "Like what?" He said, "You told her that you wanted her and her bastard child to be out of your house." She said, "Hell yeah, you can have."
I had the baby. So here's a guy that's asking to speak to your mom. Now, why didn't you hate him, though, after he did? First of all, you didn't ask to be married to him. And after he put you through all the stuff, and I mean a lot of stuff, why didn't you hate him?
Because he didn't mean nothing to me.
Okay.
Wow.
And when God...
So hold on. So the guy who married her, see? It's like marriage was a contract for a maid and a housekeeper and a womb, a surrogate mother and a nanny, a babysitter and a child rearer, and a clothes cleaner and a SUO maid. Yeah. So he was like, okay, I see she got a problem on her hands. The family's trying to get rid of her. How do we regard girls in our community? How do we regard children and girls? So she was just a problem that needed to be taken off the mother's hand. Person didn't even ask her. They had no relationship. It was a brother's older friend, but he was sitting there and he overheard, oh, they got a free maid for sale. All I got to do is sign my name on a piece of paper down at the courthouse, and I could bring her into my house. I don't even have to stop dating, because they had families up the road. They was doing whatever it is that they wanted to do. They just had you in the house as the maid, the live-in maid, the marry maid. And then he mistreated her. He never cared for her. She was just a maid to occupy space in the house. Oh my goodness.
I told God I wanted him out of my life, wanted him to move him out of my life, but not by death. Because I knew if he went by death, I was going to do it. And my children was going to be left to the state. So I didn't want to be the one to get rid of him and then lose my children too. Mm-hmm. I didn't want that. And I thank God for what he did. And so I was just glad. John was gone, he's gone. Thank God I don't have to work with him no more.
The part that I want to pull out is,
wow, this is deep. Let me see if any more of this video plays. Wow, more plays.
Yeah, and that's probably the reason why Miss Lucy is looking at her like this right here.
You got to go, or where you been?
So here's a question for you. That was the men of old times, where they talked about the man being the head of the house, and he just basically, the women were property to them. That's how it used to be back in the day. In the current generation, things are a little bit different. It doesn't seem like men try to lord over women and control them. I don't know. Look.
Someone emailed me this Twitter thread, and
so there's a lot to unpack just from this. I'll go back and watch the whole video. It's just that the whole video is almost 20 minutes long, so we can't encompass that into this video. But I'll just react on what it is that I have seen and spoken about. Or rather seen and heard about. So they act like the marriages of the olden days are the ones to be emulated. Oh, grandma was so happy back then, wasn't she? In the same ways that old slave masters used to be like, well, my knuckles is happy. They back there are singing. Sing to keep from crying. Sing to try to let your burden down. Sing to just reach your heart out and let sound come through you. And they over there confusing that for happiness. What choice did she have? Her mother was disrespecting her and haranguing her, telling her to get out the house. Of a brother's friend overheard this. Somebody asked, why didn't the brother defend her? Because this is the environment into which he was born and raised. He don't know no better. People don't know better when they start to see this type of abuse as normal. So much so that when we go out there into the streets and we come into contact with that type of behavior, we think it's normal. It feels familiar. It feels like an old sweater you just nestle into. I have a family member, a young person, whose mother gave birth to this person very young, right? And I had always attempted to be I don't want to say the opposite, but a safe space for this person, right? And this person had a lot of issues with me. And I realized, even so much so that this person even confronted me once. And I'm like, wow, what have I ever done to this person but try to be a safe space, a safe haven? And then one day I asked this person to do a very uncomfortable favor that I needed it last minute. And these are the types of things that this person's mother would do, right? And this person jumped to it gleefully. And I was like, what's going on here? I was like, here I am. I've always tried to be a safe haven, but this person has bucked against me. And then on the day that I have this very inconvenient favor that I need to ask of this person, the person was gleeful to do it. It may have been nostalgic. Maybe that's what they interpret as love. I don't know. And I've tested out this theory 3 other times since then, 2 or 3 other times. And each and every time, because these are things that I really did need done at that time. And the person jumped to it. Never a complaint. The same way that this person bucked against me, like, oh, I don't like you, just you're doing all, right? The same way that me attempting to be placid and offer a safe haven, the way they would, blah, blah, blah. But when I asked this person to go out of their way to do something for me, never a complaint, never that stuff, never that at all, at all. And so it's like, we grow up into these things that seem normal to us, and we don't know no better. And thank goodness she was able to get out. But there's so many men nowadays who want this for you. They want this for you because they don't see what was on the other end of it. They don't see the lives that were stifled, the dreams that died inside of these women, the voice that was never spoken up, the justice that was never enacted. They don't see that. They just see what you have done for them, how they're able to live easier because of you. That's what they see. That's what they see. I'm happy she was able to get out. I'm happy that these stories are becoming viral. It's too bad that the woman who put this up took it down, because these stories need to be told. We need to hear from real life people. What are they going to say? Oh, get your cat? She'd probably be much happier with a cat. What are they going to say? Oh, get your dog. You're going to die alone. Where's that man? She was either going to kill him. He would have died alone at her hands. There was no love between them. It was transactional, and he wasn't even good to her in exchange for the transaction. She gave up her youth. How old was he? She gave up her youth, her life. She bore more children for him, and he couldn't be good to her. And she was so disgusted with him that she thought she was going to have to take his life to get rid of him. And she prayed to God to get rid of him, and then he was gone. But people act like men are these gregarious beings who were just so, oh, so fluffy, so cuddly back in the days. No. They try to blame you, and they're like, oh, I am abusive now because of who it is that you are. If you behave like those women, it would have always been some reason for why you're enacting your abuse. You don't have to abuse anybody regardless of the reason. You're making a choice. You can leave, you can do something else. By the time all of this was going down, hopefully she was able to start making her own money. She did well after he was out of her life, right? I'm glad that she was able to be free, and I'm glad that these stories are coming up, because these are things that need to be discussed. They need to be discussed. Let me ask you all this question. How many of you, your grandmothers, have a similar story? This is part of the reason that I do the videos that I do now, and why I talk about the women of the past. Because I remember the stories. I remember seeing with my own eyes. I remember the ailments that my grandmother had. Hold on. I remember the ailments that my grandmother had. The arthritis in her knuckles, the knee that kept buckling, the high blood pressure and stress and all of this other stuff on her. I remember that. I remember that. And it is because of her that this is the way that I now live. It is because of her, because of what it is that we've seen. Because men who care and give birth to daughters, they hip them. They peep them to game. And then it's no wonder that those same daughters are now, unmarriageable into a system that never benefited her in the first place. All right, you know what? I need to take a break after that one. Let's see how long we've been on. 2 hours and 19 minutes. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to end this video and we're going to come back in for part 3. So text notification squad, you will get your text. I need to just kind of just calm myself, recenter, recalibrate. I need to use the ladies' room. I need to drink, should I drink some water or another smoothie? I'm not sure, but we'll be back. We'll be back for part 3, and you can leave your comments below. I'll see you all in the next video. Get up and move. Oh, you know what? Before we get out of here, we can move together. Why not? Come on, let's move together. Come on. And then I'll let you all go. Get up out of your seat. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. All right. Come on, let's do some core work. Come on. I want you to take your core and pull it up. Come on. Come on. Core work. Hey. Come on. Come on. You want to see here? This is what I'm doing. Come on. Come on. Listen, I appreciate all of you for coming out. This was a great second segment. You know, I like to do these 3 back-to-back. Hold on, that's not my outro screen. Hey, let's see. I don't know. Listen, I will. Come on. Listen, I will see you all in the next video. I love you all very, very much. Go out there and love one another. Most importantly, love yourself. All right, y'all. Core work.